Runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77th and Pioneers.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house-smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, I wonder if there's anything to really talk about this week on 93.7 The Ticket, as it is Outside the Box chatting Lincoln Stars hockey. Joel Norman joined by the head coach Rocky Russo. Nothing new and exciting to talk about this team, really, is there, Rocky? Besides the Anderson Cup championship here established last weekend. How about that?
Weather's nice outside. Yeah, we won the first Anderson Cup in, 22 years 22 years in here in Lincoln, which is obviously a pretty incredible accomplishment, and not something that we take for granted. We recognize how hard it is to win it. Obviously, none of our players were alive the last time they won it, so clearly it's not an easy accomplishment, and this is, in my mind, the best junior hockey league in the world. So when you can win the regular season title, I think it's impressive, and we're really proud of our players and their perseverance through the ups and downs, the adversity throughout the course of the year, and certainly the staff, and our scouting staff and our front office staff, our ownership group. It's just it takes a village to have success like this, and I'm just humbled and proud to be a part of it.
Heck of a product you guys have put on the ice this year. It's been a ton of fun to watch from start to finish. And right now, there is a lot more to still look forward to. Just to clarify, the Anderson Cup is not the overall playoff champion. It's the regular season champion, which is really good because it's going to give you home ice advantage here in the postseason, Rocky. We've talked in the past about that need to kind of have a first round bye if you want to bring home the Clark Cup. You've got that and the home ice advantage for the entire postseason.
Yeah, which is huge, and it makes it just a little bit easier. It's still an incredible mountain to climb to win a Clark Cup in this league, and it takes getting the right bounces and some luck and all those things. But you make yourself a little bit of a smoother path when you can have the bye, not because you have to play less hockey, but because you get a little bit more of a break. One less round that you have to play, a full week of recovery from your last two regular season games, the opportunity to start every series in your own building. I think all of those are definitely things that you're playing for throughout the course of the season. And in my experience, I haven't seen anybody win a Clark Cup without the bye in my time in the league. I know it's been done. I think actually Art Bry's Sioux Falls team did it after finishing 8th that year.
Wow.
And or 6th, whatever it was. So it can be done, but the way the playoff format is right now, where you finish the regular season on Saturday, and if you're playing in the first round, you're starting on Monday or Tuesday of the following week. It's not a lot of time to rest, and so for us, we're getting the normal amount of rest between weekends, which is a distinct advantage from having to play an entire playoff series, a best of 3 all in one building in between that.
Yeah, you've lived that the last 3 years where regular season ends Saturday, and each of the last 3 years that have been on the road, that continues again this year. I remember last year, by noon the next day, on the bus and off to Waterloo. And again, it didn't end up being an issue, but you can understand for a lot of teams why that is a tough turnaround. End of the regular season to, okay, we've got to win on Monday or we're playing for our life the next day.
You know what? And at least in my first 2 years, that first round playoff series was at home.
Yes.
We lost it in overtime of game 3 in the first year, but we were able to win it in game 2 in overtime the second year. And then we had to go and we had to do the 3-game series in Waterloo that second year, where now that's a 5-game series. And so they've extended that second round playoff series a little bit longer, guaranteeing some home opportunity for both teams, which I think is important. You play a 62-game season and you're telling me you don't have a chance at a home playoff game until the conference finals, which was the previous setup that we had. So I think it's a much better situation where you get a true winner, and the fans and everybody else that put the effort in and supported that program at least gets a chance to see their team play a home playoff game.
Absolutely. And that's what's going to be at stake for the Stars as they get a first round bye. The way the things go, there's 2 games left in the regular season. It concludes this Saturday on the road at Tri-City. Tri-City comes to the capital city on Friday when the Stars host the Storm at 7:05. A lot to look forward to with that game. Not just the last regular season home game of the season, but the Stars are going to be presented the Anderson Cup as USHL regular season champions at the conclusion of that game. So fans can also stick around. Great opportunity to get a picture with the Anderson Cup after it is presented to the Stars. But the way the postseason goes, Rocky has mentioned, we either know we're going to be playing game 1 of the second round, April 18th or April 19th. And it's so funky the way it'll go, because if it's game 1 and 2, we go the 18th and 19th of the Icebox. If game 1 is on the 19th, off on the 20th, understandably, with it being Easter, but then game 2 would be on the 21st. So a lot in the up in the air still with that, including, of course, who the opponent will be for the second round. But for right now, the focus on this weekend. And this is a nice situation for you because there's nothing else really to accomplish, so to speak, except for, of course, several things. 1, finishing the season strong. 2, you guys are going for the single season wins record.
There it is.
In franchise history. So it's something that's something you want to have as a feather in your cap, isn't that?
I mean, 29 years of this franchise, and obviously immense success from the late 90s to the early 2000s, and setting the single season win record for the franchise would be another special moment for this club. And we set the record for most 20 goal scorers in the season. We've done a lot of special things, but being able to get that 44th win is, I think, something that is really important to us and to our players and to our fans. And obviously, we've got 2 games left. We want to win both of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about that. But, getting to 44, I think, is something that kind of puts a cherry on top of the regular season,
mm-hmm.
And then you go and you pursue your goals in the postseason. But, being able to say, hey, we won the most games in the regular season out of any franchise in the 29-year history of the Lincoln Stars would be quite an accomplishment.
43-15-2-0 Lincoln Stars with the top record in the USHL, as you mentioned, taking on Tri-City for a home-and-home set this weekend at home at the Icebox on Friday at 7:05. Love to have you call in or text into us, 402-464-5685. Let's get started with our first one of the night.
Yeah, we got a couple of them here. This first one, though, will go to Chase B. I'm not aware of the superstition. If it does exist, are the boys going to touch the Anderson Cup, or do you believe in that superstition?
We're not going to touch the cup. We'll accept the cup from the commissioner, and we'll gather and have a picture with it, and then our fans can spend some time with the Anderson Cup, and they can do their thing, get their pictures and such. And we wanted the accomplishment we're proud of the accomplishment. Beyond proud, I can't even put that into words to accurately explain how I feel. But that's not the cup that you raise over your head. That's one that recognizes your accomplishments in the regular season, and we're very proud of those. But the one you raise over your heads at the end of the year, and we've got an awful lot of work to do before we have an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. And unknown texter 2449, two-parter. I can answer half of it. Wants to know if we'll carry Stars games on the ticket for playoffs. That is a yes. And then you might have mentioned this at the beginning. When was the last time the Stars won the Anderson Cup? Joel, was the second part
That
of
would have
that
been 2003. In the 2002, 2003, also the only season the Stars have won both the Anderson and the Clark Cup in the same season.
Absolutely. And you guys can continue texting any more questions. 402-464-5685 is that Sarah Heyman text line.
Lots of stuff to talk about with the team heading into this weekend. As we mentioned, taking on Tri-City. It was funny. I was talking to Addison Jones, one of our rink crew workers who previously worked with Tri-City, and he was telling me how the team had broken the Anderson Cup a few years ago when they won it. So there are different theories to be said about, how you want to treat that, because like you've said, it is an accomplishment to win it, but it's not the ultimate goal.
Well, were you there when they won that?
No,
that was
the
my
year
first
before.
year. They had a celebration after their game on Saturday, similar to what we're doing on Friday. And I was doing my post-game interview like I always do, and they all spent time with it. Players all carried it around the ice. They held it over their head like it was the Stanley Cup. They really embraced that, and then they got bounced in the second round. And they probably had the statistically the best team that's ever come through the USHL prior to maybe last year's Fargo Force team. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's because they celebrated the way they did with the Anderson Cup. That was certainly their players and their staff's choice to do that. But like I said, we have nothing but gratitude, and we're incredibly humble that we're able to accomplish this mission. But there's a bigger goal at hand, and that's the Clark Cup, and we're fortunate enough to get our hands on that. We'll all be touching that cup, but we got work to do before we get to have that conversation.
Yeah, the ideal situation, you get both of them, but as we mentioned, we're not going to know until at least a month and another week or so from now. Latest the season can go is May 21st, which right now seems in a lot of ways, like for me at least, really far away.
Oh, it's not.
It's not, though. You're right, because once the postseason begins, it's all right. Here we go, one game after another. Plus, they come together so much closer too.
Yeah, and I've got the baby coming about 10 days after that. So it's going to be an exciting time in the Russo household. And, we're right now we're focusing on our last two regular season games and priming up for playoff hockey. And the playoffs specifically in this league are very much a sprint. You don't have a lot of time to even prep. You don't have a lot of time to recover. So we need to do what we need to do to make sure that we're ready to go.
What are some other changes you can tell fans about just the mentality between the regular season and the postseason, besides obviously the case of you are playing to continue your season in the playoffs?
So I'm actually going to tell you that there aren't. I'm going to tell you that there aren't. And we had a team event last night, and we talked about it. We talked about it again this morning. I think too many teams try to change too much. Too many teams make the playoffs a bigger moment than they should be. Every game that we've played this year for 60 games has been a very important game. And we viewed every single game as a must-win game. That's been our mentality. Game number 63 will be a very important game, and one that we believe is a must-win game. And so when you create that type of accountability throughout the course of the regular season, it can flow right into the playoffs. I believe players can be overcoached in the playoffs. I believe I've done it on occasion. I regret it. In certain situations, I think I may have cost my team's championships at times because I wanted so badly to win that I may have overcoached them. And I'm not going to do that this year. We're going to give them the same information we've given them all year. We'll make the same adjustments that we've made all year. And we trust that our players are prepared. We've been at this now for close to 9 months. They know what the recipe is, so to speak, to bake the Lincoln Stars cake, to play the right way, to do the right things. And so we believe if we have an elite compete level and our identity is right, we've got a chance against anybody. And So if I go and start meddling with things and changing too many things, I'm just going to put undue pressure on the players that I don't think is necessary.
And I think it's fitting you saying that because it feels like since the start of March, I think you had said around that time, you said, we're in playoff mode now for obvious reasons, because we know it's around the corner and because we want to get the Anderson Cup to have that home ice advantage.
And that, that was the main goal. Was obviously the bye was priority number one. We haven't had the bye in the previous 3 years. Having the bye was for us important. And then certainly you want that feather in your cap of being the best team in the regular season. It's a tremendous accomplishment. But we downplayed that because it wasn't the be all end all. We were still going to have a chance to win a Clark Cup if we didn't win the Anderson Cup. There was a point a few weeks ago where we were all pretty comfortable and confident that we were going to get that bye. And so we were in a really good spot. And if we could go and win some games on the road in a pretty hostile environment like we did this past weekend in Madison, then we were going to be able to manage to secure the Anderson Cup. And I think we did it in pretty dramatic fashion on Saturday, but we got it done.
I was thinking when that game went into overtime, I was like, well, this is a little anticlimactic, but technically we've clinched at least a share. I was like, boy, let's just get that other point so we can outright say it.
I said to the guys before we started overtime, and if you've listened to my post-game interview, you heard that. I said, listen, guys, you just clinched the Western Conference regular season championship, and you just clinched a share of the Anderson Cup. And that's a tremendous accomplishment. Now let's go and get it all for ourselves. And we gave up a goal late, 30 seconds left, net pull. No panic on that bench. And maybe that is because they knew they got the point that they needed. But I was confident that we were going to be able to secure the second one. And obviously, like we talked about, it was pretty fitting that it was Dashiell Oliver.
Yeah, 4-year member of the Stars. It was just really exciting. As a second of the night, just a tremendous season for him as a whole. Looks like we got another text on the line. You can send in yours now, 402-464-5685.
Yeah, we got a few of them here we can get to. Unknown texter 1705 wants to know, will the Stars be around the box for autographs after the game on Friday, like Fandemonium has been set up in the past?
So we're not doing that this Friday because of the opportunity for fans to take photos with the Anderson Cup. We weren't scheduling that. I mean, I guess if players want to come up, they certainly can too.
The players will be
You wanna do that?
The players will be on the ice for the ceremony after, and I suspect that the players will hang out for a while. In a non-organized fashion, where they can sign autographs. You'll be able to grab them on the benches. You'll be able to grab them, and I think those are actually cooler environments than the formal setting of the tables, because you get to spend a little bit more time with them. But certainly, our players will be available. Our players are always available for autographs.
Is there a more accessible arena really in the league?
No, in our I don't know
close to
that
the
there's
team?
more accessible staff and team. Our players love to be around our fans. I love to be around our fans, and so anytime we get a chance to interact with them, we're all for it.
And then we got another one. I'm sure Russo loves this question. When is the USHL draft, and how do you prepare for it while in the middle of the playoffs?
Of course, we're talking about that right after the Anderson Cup and in between the Clark Cup playoffs, right?
What is it, May 5th and 6th?
I
Something
think it's
like
that first weekend, right?
It's a little under a month away now at this point, and it's fortunately we have a scouting staff. We have a general manager that everybody's heard from here on the radio or through our social media. We have a fantastic scouting staff that's out doing the work and building the lists, and then they work, and our staff, Art and Ross and I, we work and we put together our lists, and then we'll see where we're at that time. 2 years ago, we were going to Fargo for game one of the Western Conference Finals, and the bus left, and Nick and Mike Zanella and myself stayed back and did the draft, and then Mr. Fernandez drove us all to Fargo. We got there about 2 a.m. and got up for morning skate, played games 1 and 2, came back, and so the draft is a 2-part draft in this league. You have your phase 1 draft, which is all your 16-year-olds, so that would be 2009 birth years, and then phase 2 is all of the other eligible junior hockey players. So it's not ideal that it's smack in the middle of the playoffs. Fortunately, for 3 out of the 4 years we've been involved in some degree in the playoffs. Right now, we obviously got knocked out in the first round there the first year, but it's a challenge. But it's also a blessing. It means you're still playing, and if you're still playing, then suddenly it doesn't feel quite as overwhelming. And I think our staff, our scouting staff, and Nick are tremendously prepared, and so I'm very confident about that.
I was glad you brought that up, that it's not desirable, but it is, because if you're playing at the same time the draft's going on, you've had a pretty good season. And you and Nick have both said that several times.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly I'd rather not be playing, but that would mean that the draft is at a different time. But as long as the draft is in the middle of the playoffs, I want to still be playing hockey at that point in time.
Absolutely. So that's coming up right around the corner. Of course, still time to get your texts or calls into us, 402-464-5685. Another one, Harrison.
Yeah, this one a little more random. I believe the same texter that wanted to get you in on election day way back then, voting. He was writing your name in for that. Wants to know, what's Freddie's order?
What's my Freddie's order?
Great sponsor of the Stars.
Great sponsor of the Stars. I mean, I'm smash burger guy. Give me that cheeseburger, and they've got great milkshakes there. They've got great fries there. Chicken sandwiches. I've had too many of those because we always end up with some Freddy's in the locker room, maybe once or twice a month. So I never pass up on those when I get a chance. They're a fantastic sponsor. Our guys are there a lot, and giving back to the community, spending some time there as whatever they call them, celebrity servers or whatever it is. So we love Freddy's, and great food there. So if you're looking for something to eat, go check out Freddy's.
Absolutely. And that's all we got for right now. We got a few minutes left here with Coach Russo. So if you guys got any left, 402-464-5685.
Jack Picard and Ethan Weber are going to be joining us here in just a little bit. Two veterans on this team. And, that's been such a theme for this season's team, Rocky, is the way these veteran returners have played such an impact. But it's such a neat mix, this team, just for those who haven't seen the team in action yet, just the mix of the returners with the newcomers this year. It's made for such a fun season with how that locker room has blended so quickly.
It's a great locker room. The guys care about each other. They can bust each other's chops. They can hold each other accountable. They can fight amongst themselves, but nobody's allowed to fight against them. And I think that's what a family really does. And, I think that we obviously had great returners coming back. You see that with their ability to produce for us. But more importantly, they went through hard times last year, and the skin got a little thicker, and the adversity was good for them. And then the guys we were able to add this year, whether it's Schlainer, or it's Harrington, or it's Lassard, or the list goes on. Kohanski, Bruno. I mean, obviously Ando, and all the young rookies that joined us early on that have been great for us, Pelletier and that group. And so I can name them all, and they all deserve to be named because they all are fantastic players. They're instrumental in the success of this team. And it's a unique group. It's an older group, which I think if you're going to win a Clark Cup, you need to probably be a little bit older in this league. It's a league that veteran experience really comes in handy. And how many guys have we had play their 100th USHL game this year?
Feels like every other week, right?
And so when you have that many guys that have spent that long of a time, a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years in this league, they're weathered and they're prepared, and you tend to have a successful group when you have that older group.
Absolutely. Still a good chance to catch them in action. As we mentioned, the Stars are home for the last time this regular season this coming Friday. And then next week, crazy to say it, Clark Cup playoffs will be here. We know there'll be a game on April 19th. We don't know if the other game will be either April 18th or April 21st. You can purchase a playoff push pack right now, though, at LincolnStars.com. You get tickets for each of the first two home games of the postseason for just $18. Fantastic deal. Cannot beat that. But come out this Friday first. And then, of course, as we mentioned before, get your picture with the Anderson Cup afterwards, as the Stars will be presented it after the conclusion of Friday's game. Looks like we got a couple more texts here as we wind down the first half hour of the show. Go ahead, Harrison.
Yeah, absolutely. On the way out here, we got unknown texter just says, thanks, Rocky, for making the players accessible to the fans. And then Chase B wants to know any injury updates on this last stretch of the season here.
Well, thank you. First of all, I'm grateful to our fans that want to be around our players and support them, and our booster club and our fan base, our season ticket holders, absolutely incredible. And you see that week after week with their support. As far as the injury report goes, if you were watching the game on Saturday, you saw Nick Young get injured. Nick Young is, we'll call him day to day right now with a lower body injury. He's actually doing much better than maybe we had initially thought. So promising for him and his injury. He won't play this weekend, but there's hope that he'll be back here very, very, very soon, which is the most important thing. And outside of that, everybody's healthy. And so that's a good thing. I know that that's part of when I say you need a little luck and some bounces, you need to stay healthy.
Mhm.
And, I talk to the guys all the time throughout the course of the year about taking care of their bodies, washing their hands. My grandma used to tell me never go outside in the winter with wet hair. Just dressing for the appropriate weather, getting enough rest, getting your ice baths, getting your hydration, eating properly. All of those things are really important to recovery and to the health of your body, especially when you go into this grind of the USHL playoffs. So, we've done a great job of it all year. Our players are prepared and they're athletes. They understand the importance of taking care of themselves. And so, that's pretty much it when it comes to the injury report. Fortunate enough that it's nice and short at this time of year.
Exactly where you want to be heading into the playoffs. So that's coming up right around the corner for the Stars. We'll take a break, and when we come back, as mentioned, Jack Picard and Ethan Weber are guests here this evening. Back with more in a moment on 93.7 The Ticket.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown's Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Brown's carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown's Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln. Spring is the time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utilities direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back again here on Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Only 2 games remain between the end of the regular season and the start of the Clark Cup playoffs, and that comes this weekend for the Lincoln Stars as they take on the Tri-City Storm Friday night at home for our final home game of the regular season, and then they are at Tri-City on Saturday to wrap things up before the playoffs begin in 2 weeks. Really exciting to be at that point and excited to be joined by a couple of returning Stars players, Ethan Weber and Jack Picard. And guys, congratulations getting the Anderson Cup. It's not the end goal, but it's certainly a heck of an achievement. Let's talk about those games this past weekend, because I feel like for the better part of the last few months, the playoff mentality has been established, but that series against Madison, if that is the Clark Cup final, well, a lot of fans are going to be in for a treat because that was some really good hockey. I'll start with you, Ethan. The game Friday night for you guys, you had to rally in the middle of that one. It was a tough first period to start things, kind of a little back and forth, but maybe the most dominant period you guys have had this season, because when you outshoot a team 15-0,
and you score 3 goals. Obviously, don't give up any. I don't know if you guys could have asked for much more. Do you agree with me? That might have been the best period of the season.
So yeah, obviously a huge period for us and a big step for the group.
Yeah, and that was so fun to watch from afar because I didn't even realize until the period ended that there were no shots on goal for Madison in the frame. And Jack, you had one of the goals for the Stars in that period. Just everything was clicking for you guys. Tell me about the work you did defensively, though. It's easy to ask defensemen what they did, but tell me about how you and the forwards were a big part of not allowing any shots in that period.
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of our identity. We start from the back end and go forward. And, first period wasn't really how we wanted to start it, but, it's a road game in a hostile environment. So sometimes you're going to have those starts and just coming out firing in the second. I think B zone led into our O zone and we were able to bury on a couple chances and, 4 goals. I think that's all we kind of need. So, yeah.
Got exactly what you did. Then Saturday, a heck of a battle in that one, winning in overtime 4-3. Ethan, that was a game where you guys were down, gave up the game's first goal, took 2 different leads after that. Madison rallies back, forces overtime. Going into overtime, we've heard Rocky talking about, I told you guys about how, you had already locked up the Anderson Cup, so to speak, but you still needed to get it outright. Was there a situation almost when overtime started where it was almost just like, hey, we can get this. We don't have to be tight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think especially on the bench, at least for me, after they tied it up, everyone was calm on the bench. We knew where we were gonna pull through, and I think it's just the confidence in everyone. I think everyone knew that we were gonna get it done.
Yeah, Jack, heading into that overtime period, anything can happen 3-on-3, but you guys have had some pretty strong success. I would imagine you guys are really confident anytime there's an overtime.
Yeah, I think we work on 3-on-3 a little bit, and everyone's comfortable. Taking the puck out, having some poise, and not rushing things in that. And that's a really good hockey team over there, and we knew they can score at any point. And so what? They tied it up with 30 seconds left. I think we were all still confident that we were able to get the job done there.
Webbs, what's the toughest thing with overtime as a defenseman? Because we saw it on Saturday. You guys were pretty much going 1 forward, 2D during the overtime 5-minute period. But what's the biggest challenge maybe for you over the course of an overtime?
I'd say when they start switching a lot, communication is really important. So if you don't have good communication, I think when they start switching with a lot of speed, it gets tough because if one guy gets beat, it's like an odd man play. So I'd say the switches.
I would imagine it's a situation where if it's okay to be patient sometimes at overtime. I
Yeah.
see you guys do a really good job that you kind of peel back when there's not anything developing. If it's just one forward going in, you don't have numbers. Jack, you guys seem okay with hey, you know what? Let's just reset and regroup.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of ice out there, not a lot of bodies. So, when you don't see anything, take it out of the zone, wind up, get some speed, maybe have a guy coming in for a drop pass or try to 2-on-1 a guy quick. But yeah, I know 3-on-3 is a lot of fun, a lot of space to work with. And yeah.
Heading back home this Friday to take on Tri-City for the better part of the last month and a half almost. It felt like we've hardly been on the road, guys. I mean, we hadn't played a game outside of Nebraska since playing Sioux City. I think that was the beginning of March, that 7-2 win in their building. So a lot of home games recently, a lot of close road games. Ethan, what was that like for you guys to get on the road? Maybe just a change of pace, change of setting to not only go on the road, but then win on the road as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good. I mean, playing at home's the best, obviously. You love the crowd, but it's definitely good for the team when you have to go into another environment because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what playoffs is going to be like. They're not all going to be at home. So it's a good example of what it will be like down the road.
And Jack, home ice advantage for you guys for the entire postseason, but you have shown that you can win on the road. Tell me about how that is. Again, it's nice to have the home ice, but you guys seem to love being the visiting team this year.
Yeah, I think I've said it before. I think we like being the villains and going into hostile environments and, pissing off some other fans, which is always nice. But yeah, obviously, the Icebox is special, best fans in the league, and we love playing there, and we're so grateful for it.
For both of you guys being multi-year stars, I would imagine pretty much every coming week feels like it creates the best moment of this season and your Stars tenure so far. Is right now for you guys this past Saturday's win to get the Anderson Cup maybe your most favorite moment over the last few years with the Stars? I'll start with you, Ethan.
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, last year we weren't winning a lot. Obviously, there were some comebacks that were good last year and all that, but I think this has been the most special for me.
Same for you, Jack.
Yeah, I think 2 years ago joining that group and going to the Western Conference Finals was special, but being with this group for the full year and be able to make memories like that, it's really special.
How much sweeter is the success of this season based on everything you guys have been through before? Ethan, you were here for a couple games that season 2 seasons ago. Both of you here all year last year through the ups and the downs of it. How much sweeter is that when you guys are celebrating Saturday going like, holy cow, we have had to put in a lot of work as multi-year members of this team. I'll start with you, Webbs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy to reflect on last year and where we were. We were fighting for playoffs till the very end, and like this year to be the best team in the league, basically. Like it's just really cool to reflect and see where we've come, because we have a lot of returners. So a lot of that group last year is here this year.
I'm glad you bring that up, because that's the thing. You look back, turn the calendar back a full year. We're heading into the last 2 games of the season, and it was the second to last game, the equivalent of this coming Friday, where we clinched a playoff spot. Not the Anderson, not a bye or anything, just a playoff spot. Like, what a difference a year can make, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, still surprised we went into Waterloo and beat them too. But yeah, I think just all the ups and downs from last year, and you kind of carry that experience into this year, and a lot of returners. Guy like Dash scoring the OT winner there.
Mm-hmm.
Really happy for him. Like, he's been here the longest out of all of us, and to see him do something like that was awesome.
402-464-5685, our phone number if you want to get some questions in for Jack Bakar and Ethan Weber. Let's talk about this angle. I just thought about this. With you guys last year, with a 6-seeded team, you upset Waterloo, sweeping them in 2 games in the first round. Knowing what that's like to be that lower-seeded team, to pull off an upset, how does that help you guys prepare this year, knowing targets on our back? We are the team a lot of people are going to be gunning for as the Anderson Cup champions. Start with you, Ethan.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful because we're going to get every team's best effort, but like a lot of veterans on the team, so they're going to make sure like the message is known in the locker room. And I mean, it's playoffs now, so everyone is going to get our best too. So
how about you, Jack?
Yeah, I think we saw it down the road in the last couple of weeks. Everyone's playing us tight, and a lot of games, 1-goal games going into OT, and it's hard to be the best, but it's even harder to stay at the top, because everyone's gunning for you. And I think that's just the mentality going into playoffs is, you're going to get every team's best game every night from here on out. And it doesn't matter how we get it done, just that we have to get it done no matter who's stepping up or who's scoring goals, or, everyone's going to be stepping up, doing the little things.
It's weird. I got to rephrase in my mind. You got to say, hey, whatever it takes to get 2 points. And it's like, no, just whatever for the win here really soon. The points don't matter in a little over a week. 402-464-5685, the telephone number. Looks like we got a text right now. Harrison?
Yeah, this one from Nyla. She says, congratulations to you both. And also wants to know, Jack, maybe more superstition I'm not aware of. Jack, did you happen to have orange chicken before the game?
No orange chicken. Haven't had Eric's special orange chicken in a while, but
that's right.
Might
I
have
forgot
to.
about that's a good memory.
Might have to get back over there before playoffs start.
Yeah, this is a second week in a row Eric Reese has gotten a mention on the show because Cameron Whitehead called in last week. So if Eric's listening, we're just, the checks will be in the mail for all the mentions we're giving you. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on Outside the Box as we chat Lincoln Stars hockey on 93.7 The Ticket.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchased from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com. Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one last time here on Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. I guess we should remind everyone we will be back on the air next Tuesday. I've been so used to in the past saying that this is usually the last edition of the year, but we're gonna have time next Tuesday because of the first round bye. So you can thank your Lincoln Stars for that, and tune in next Tuesday 6 to 7 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Wrapping things up here, Joe Norman alongside Stars defenseman Ethan Weber and forward Jack Bakar ahead of the regular season finale weekend. At home on Friday night at the Icebox. Hope to see you there at 7:05. And then on the road at Tri-City. It's been a minute since we've seen Tri-City, guys, and this is going to be an interesting thing because they're in a playoff spot. They know they're going to be playing on Monday. They don't know who they're going to be playing because fifth place is still in play for them. They're 2 points back of Fargo. I would imagine this will be a hungry team. For you guys, I talked about it with Rocky. There is something to prove if you want to get that new single-season wins record in franchise history, but you also want to stay healthy, and you want everyone to be good to go for the playoffs. What's the mentality for you guys as players heading into this coming weekend to wrap up the regular season? I'll start with you, Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky's told us about the single season record, so I think everyone's fired up for that. So I think Tri-Cities can get everyone's best effort like always. So.
How about you, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to set another record. So a little bit of fuel there, I guess. And obviously they can jump up to fifth. So, I mean, they're still going to be hungry coming in for those 2 games.
What I loved about when I've talked about this with you guys, with staff, with everyone is the history that's been made this year. It's fun, but that there's so much hunger to make more. It's almost as if we already know we're hanging one banner. How about another one? And it seems like that's how you guys are. And that's that, in a lot of ways, that championship mentality you have to have this time of year. Guys, as we head into this end of the regular season, give me some of your favorite moments from the season. We talked about the Anderson Cup, but give me another maybe unsung moment in the course of this season that was like, wow, that was something that will stick with me for a long time. I'll start with you, Ethan.
I mean, I don't know if it's most memorable for everyone, but I mean, just that 3-3 in January, like that, it was on my mind since the beginning of the year, and just like traveling to 3 different cities. So like that was a big challenge for our team, and like that we swept that weekend. I think like I'll remember that for a while.
That's a good answer because that was right in the middle of that 12-game winning streak. And when I looked into that, I thought, boy, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough to extend it. We might get a game. We might get 2. I said, I don't know if we can get all 3. So that's a good point. To me, that's a moment I think we'll definitely remember from this season. How about you, Jack?
Home opener, winning 9-1. It seemed like everyone was having fun, and everything was going in, and starting the season off kind of like that was a lot of fun. And then I mean, hard for me to forget when me and Malt both had hat tricks against Tri-City right after break. But yeah, a lot of good memories, and guys, this is a special group, and we don't want it to end anytime soon.
You got to be a part of both double hat trick nights this season. There was the one at home against Tri-City, it was you and Matthew Malte, and then you and Bruno at Fargo at the beginning of March too. So it was the fact you get one double hat trick night in the season is really cool, but getting 2 of those I thought was really special.
Yeah, we joke around that they come in bunches, and sometimes you go 7-8 without getting one, and another game they kind of just flow in. So
you mentioned the home opener. I'm sure I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but this is something I'll remember from it. Was Schlainer had the hat trick, but people didn't realize that he did until it was announced, like his 3rd goal of the night, Daniel Schlainer, and then you start to see hats. I think it was like during like a stoppage in action. It wasn't an immediate timeout, but I got a kick out of that because I'm thinking, holy cow, for so many of these people, this is the first time they've ever seen this kid play, and he's got a hat trick. So how are they going to keep track of his face and everything? But that was a funny, I thought, early season fan engagement moment, to say the least. But a lot of great moments from this season. It's been a heck of a campaign, guys. We're really looking forward to these final, let's say, a month and a half here. It's the way it looks, because we can go into late May and hopefully hang another banner. Guys, thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Joel.
Absolutely. Ethan Weber and Jack Picard joining me. As mentioned, the Stars have 2 games this weekend, and they take on the Tri-City Storm. Both of those can be heard right here on 93.7 The Ticket. But why not come out Friday for the final home game of the regular season? Get your photo with the Anderson Cup after it's presented to the Stars following this Friday's game. Tickets available at LincolnStars.com. We will talk to you again this weekend on Friday here on 93.7 The Ticket, and again on Outside the Box a week from today, next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joel Norman. This is 93.7 The Ticket.